What's up? Took a trade today on QQQ and NAS 100. Pretty much the same thing. Just gonna show it on QQQ. Basically, let me take a second and really appreciate this trade. So this is where I entered right here. I entered right at this fair value gap right here, and just look at the stop loss. Barely hit the stop loss, but it hit the TP perfectly. Right now I'm going to go over exactly what happened. So I'm going to remove all this shit. Let's go to the 1 day time frame. Alright, so like I said, yesterday we filled this gap right here, which I wanted to see. And obviously once you fill that gap, it's kind of like a fair value gap. If you enter it, you're going to completely reject off of it. Let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. And now, pre-market, you could see that we swept all of these highs right here, and we're still in this same, still in that same gap right here. So, obviously, you want to reject out of it. And let's go on to the lower time frame. Actually, real quick, you could see right here, we have this gap that happened overnight. And like I said, gaps are like magnets. They're like fair value gaps. They love to retrace back into them. So, let's go on to the 1 minute time frame and let's see what happened. So market opens, we sweep all of these highs from pre-market, and then I noticed it was going to be a bearish day because obviously we have that gap right here. However, I didn't really want to target too much to the downside since the market's very volatile this week with what happened on Sunday. So I got replay mode now, so I'm gonna do replay mode. We're gonna start off at market open. So we're looking at here. We're gonna keep on going until market opens right here. We already swept all those highs right here. However, I don't trade until after 8:45, per usual. So it's just chop right here, more accumulation. You know, nothing really too crazy until we see. Let's continue. Okay, till we see that thing right there. Next candle, we have a small itty bitty fair value gap right there. Okay, and then we continue, get more liquidity. Okay, so what happened here? So we have a fair value gap right here that was inverse completely and a close below the lows. All right, so what happens after that? Next candle. All right, perfect. We have a fair value gap right here. So I'm actually going to, so this is the fair value gap right here. EMAs start crossing closer, so tighter to each other. Okay, boom, price comes into that fair value gap. I entered longs right here, or shorts right here, right at the 50% zone. I put my stops right at the highs of this candle. And then I had my take profit at the order block right here. So at the last order block right here. And then, boom. So that was my trade. Let's see how it goes. So, like you saw earlier, it came up, barely swept my my stop loss. It was pretty much just like that. Barely swept my stop loss. Didn't hit it though, thankfully. Continued more to the downside, huge moves to the downside, and then came back up a little bit, filled more of this fair value gap right here, and then boom. Perfect take profit. Usually you want to put your take profit at high forms of liquidity where a bunch of orders are sitting and where the big banks want people to get stopped out at. All right, so continuing on to the day, I saw that we entered this this order block right here. And after this trade, I was completely done. I shut my computer and I was done for the day. After this, I saw that we came into this order block right here. So I instantly knew we wanted to reject. And sure enough, that's what happened. Went all the way up. And I still knew that today we wanted to get back into this gap right here. obviously, like I said, I was done trading already. But what I did see is that we came back up, go on the higher time frame, and we're able to see that we entered a, let's see, maybe on the 3 minute, where we entered a order block right here. Price came into it, completely rejected off of it, and you were able to trade off this perfectly. This is like a perfect trade right here for that. But the stops above the highs, you know, maybe a little bit above, and then you could target the 50% zone of this gap that happened overnight. See what happens. Actually, let's go on the 1 minute time frame, and I'm sure you could find a bunch of fair value gaps. So you can actually see that all these price got swept by some of these candles right here. Continue down, kind of accumulated for a few hours. Okay, let's actually speed this up a little bit. This is fucking slow. Okay, there we go. Now it started to come back into this fair value gap right here, actually. Price came back into that fair value gap. And you can actually see right here that where the EMA swapped right here. All right, let's continue this. Okay, and look at that. Another fair value gap got filled. All right, so what happened here? Order block. Boom. Fair value gaps. I'm sure if you go on to the 5 minute time frame, fair value gap. Boom. Okay, and this is actually order block right here too. Obviously, it all depends on which time frame you're looking at, but you just continue to the downside and then hit your take profit to the point. Price actually wanted to continue even lower after that, so you could see. Let's go to the 15 minute time frame. You can see that just capitulated. It took out these lows right here, this low, this low. So huge move to the downside today. Very good trade. I obviously that was a small little trade. I made about $200 in total, jointing QQQ options and then futures NAS 100. If I took this, I probably would have tripled or quadrupled that. But hey, I'm not mad about it. It's just good that I found that and I saw that it was happening and I called it out. So this takes a lot of time to, you know, kind of understand these things. But yeah, that's pretty much it so far. See you guys tomorrow.